Hey, you guys, this is for Shannon for News, Views, and Conversations. Just wanted to pop in real quick on this beautiful Sunday and give you another video. I wanted to speak about the Shannon Sharpe situation. It's beyond out of hand. Um, some things I agree with and some things I don't agree with. Uh, Number one, she was too young. You need to get married. You need to go either get married or go get in a stable relationship of some sort. Um, so I don't agree with the age. She was too young, fresh out the gate. He should have never been dating her. And just for the fact that she's from OnlyFans, that's another deal that he should have never been dating her. Um, and I've said it a trillion times on my other videos. I know I did some videos for Diddy as well. But in this case, um, again, if you're on a certain level, you shouldn't even be entangling yourself with people that are not on that level. Clearly, in this situation, she has nothing to lose and everything to gain, but Shannon has everything to lose. Yeah, in this case, it does look like this is on him. This is your fault. I am a Club Shay Shay fan. I love Shannon Sharpe. I love Ocho Cinco. I love a lot of the knowledge and the jewels and diamonds that they have dropped on his show throughout the years. I am a fan. But even if I'm a fan, I can still say I see some error here. However, I will also say I feel like it's a lot of cap with the lady that's accusing him of, assaulting her. I kind of feel like it's a situation where if she kind of figures she's going to get cut off at some point, she's trying to grab the bag before she leaves. And whoever this other lady is that's trying to come out and say something or whatever as well, uh, it's another one. It's the second one that just came out. I don't know if it's Michelle, the one that was in the audio or not. I got to go do my research. But whoever it is, whatever this is about, I hope that it's not about to be a snowball effect because now everybody's trying to show up for the bag. I've read a lot of comments. I've heard a lot of people say things as far as, um, he should have never been dealing with them, this, that, and the other. Uh, the part about if he did something to you, why didn't you go to the police? Why are you going to the attorney to collect the bag? So that's why I feel like a lot of this stuff is false narrative. Another thing we got to keep in mind as well, and I've said it before, they are still mad about the Cat Williams interview. So what comes to my mind is, who sent them? A lot of people say I'm good for a good conspiracy theory. I am. At the same time, you got to be able to see through the bull. You got to be able to see through the BS of what's happening here. Where these women come from out of the blue. Again, you got to do your best and your damnedest to not get caught slipping. Like I said, he has so much to lose, and these women have so much to gain. And it's clear to see what they're here for. If somebody really did something to you, you shouldn't want money. You shouldn't want money. You should want to see justice for what they did to you. So if they assaulted you, uh, he said it, I guess the girl said it, he choked her or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Again, if somebody's done something to you, you will forfeit the money. If you really want to see justice, I mean, money may help the pain go away for a little while, but one, you're going to be traumatized mentally. That's your mental health, your physical health, and everything else that goes along with it. So money doesn't cure all things. It helps some stuff. I mean, it may patch up a few tears and go buy you whatever you want, help you live the best life that been wanting to live. But that's what makes me think is all BS, and everybody's here to get paid. Again, we say it a trillion times more. Watch the company that you keep. Watch the new people that you meet. Even watch some of the old people that you've known for years. We're living in a time where trust is really a big deal. You can't trust everybody. So I just wanted to pop on today, give my take on it. I wanted to leave you with the Stephen A. Smith video. Um, he's not like really my favorite, but sometimes every now and then he drops some gems and some diamonds and some things that I think that are true. I like the part that he did in his video where he was saying, we all, have our shows, our podcasts. I call mine radio because I love radio. My radio podcast, my TV show here on YouTube, my website, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I like what he said. We're all out here popping our thing, doing our stuff, da 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 da. But at the end of the day, we have a day job that makes this work. And when you do, and regardless of the fact whether I'm that known or not, what I do on this internet is serious. So I can't be out here doing crazy stuff, um, letting my personal business be out here like that because people talk. And so Stephen A. Smith, he talked along those lines, saying, hey, I got my show. Yeah, this is my platform. I run this. This is mine. But at the end of the day, I have a day job. I work for ESPN and whatever other sports center places that they have, doing their shows on the sports channels and stuff on cable, they are held to a higher regard, a higher accountability. You can't be out here loose with your sexual business. And then you're talking to people on OnlyFans. A lot of the people, I hate to say this, but I've had my own experiences, so I can kind of like speak to this a little bit more. A lot of the people, a lot of times that are on these uh, social media sites, whatever, OnlyFans or Instagram, Facebook, X, whatever, a lot of people are low vibrational. A lot of them are haters. They're sitting back watching you live your best life. And if they ever got a chance to get close to you or get next to you, a lot of them are like kind of like full of, I hate to say it, but full of demons actually, to the point where if they could just get close enough to you to bring you down to their level, they would love that very much. Because when they see you and you're out here popping your stuff, you're doing your thing, they don't have what you have, especially in Shannon's case. She doesn't have what he has. He has everything to lose. She has everything to gain. And the thing about it that I think is so funny too, she don't even care that her face is all smeared out there. Everybody knows what she does on OnlyFans and what she does for money. I would be embarrassed to take the money because, of course, we know what that means when you're taking money for sexual favors. You look bad. You look trifling. You look treacherous. You look nasty. That's how I see it. So just the whole makeup of it all is just toxic. However, even though I'm a Club Shay Shay fan, I'm a Shannon Sharpe fan, you got yourself in this. Now you got to try to figure out how to get out of this so that you can hopefully go back to ESPN. I heard he, stepped away for a while to hopefully try to get this thing cleared up. Hopefully he can get it cleared up because this is not a good look. Again, like I said, we all have day jobs. We all have responsibilities. You have friends and family members that see what you do online. And the last thing you want to do is give the devil the glory to see you be put in a situation where your name is trash. Your brand that you've been working to build is now trash because of this little girl that's 19 years old, ain't got no business with no 56-year-old man. That's why Monique said what she said. I don't agree with everything that Monique says or does, but on some stuff, she be on point. I actually hope the same for Chris Brown. Y'all need to go get you a woman. If you're not ready to get married, at least go get something stable to where you are accountable and nobody can place you nowhere with no crazy person on OnlyFans that's supposed to be a victim. As I said in the first video that I did about it when it first dropped, if you did something, you got to deal with that. But not this stuff with somebody trying to set you up and they've been seeing you for 3 years. It would be different if he wasn't like dating her and had been around her and, like something happened once or twice and it went left. It's like, okay, yeah, something happened here. But you've been around this guy how long? It makes no sense. So I'm just, it's just all foolishness to me. And again, when are you guys going to learn? If you have all those zillions and trillions of dollars, you're positioning yourself to be in a bad place with a female that gets an attitude when she probably figures you're about to cut her off. And she don't want you to get out that door before she get to that bag first. It's a lot of setup in this situation from what I hear. We don't know who she's working with. Somebody mentioned in the comments, hey, is there a pimp that's behind this? In my mind, like, who sent her? Where'd she come from? Because you have to be careful when you're doing stuff like this. When they see that you have aspirations, they can send people to attach to you to, play to what your thing is, get in your head and play to that. And the first time you mess up, boom, all your business in the street now. cold turkey, just everything all out there. Everything out there, for people to know about. So, like I said earlier, I really love what Stephen A. Smith said, and that is very vital. We all have day jobs. We all have ways to take care of what we need to take care of for our brands and our things that we love to do. So while we're out here, popping and doing our thing and we hot on social media, on YouTube or whatever, you have to keep a certain level of boundaries in place, when it comes to your day job, your 9 to 5:30, whatever capacity that is. I don't care if you on TV or not on TV, or you big time or not big time. You can't be out here on social media doing crazy stuff. I know, like at my day job, they say, hey, if you got some stuff out there on social media that you think is, shouldn't be out there, you need to take it off. Because guess what? They be out there looking. So I don't care if you're known or not known, you got to carry yourself a certain way when you're out here doing this kind of stuff. You can't attach yourself to the wrong people that's doing crazy stuff, people that like possibly domestic violence, saying crazy stuff, people talking to people out their name, calling people out their names, saying crazy stuff or whatever. Anybody that's going to get you riled up and that wants to rah-rah with you, you can't have them around you and you're trying to build up, not down. Because that's the next move. If you hang around people that are low vibrational, low self-esteem, insecure, crazy for whatever warp-minded reason, you can't have that around where you're going in life. So I just wanted to pop in today, give my little words of wisdom as to what I think about it. Shannon, you messed up on this one. Hopefully we can reel it back in. I love the show. I love Ocho Cinco. I love you. I love what you guys do. But you cannot be bothering or dealing with people that are not on the same level as yourself. You got too much money to be dealing with somebody from OnlyFans. You can do way better than that. That's the bottom of the barrel, what you picked. And even the other one, from what I saw, you can do better. If you're going to be doing this well in life, making all this money, continue to date up. Don't date down, date up. That's the goal. So I want to leave you guys with this video today. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for Sean Ellis Radio TV. I will see you guys in the next one.
Welcome to this edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you over the digital airways of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. As always, thanking all of y'all for y'all support for watching the show and what have you. The millions of downloads I received over iHeartRadio. Subscribers now eclipsing 1.18 million. Thank you so much for the love and support. Today's a different day because of where I have to get started and where I have to finish. There's only going to be one subject discussed today, and it's where we're getting started. It's involving some news that broke yesterday involving Shannon Sharpe, my colleague at ESPN and my friend. The Hall of Fame tight end was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the name Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil complaint filed in Nevada alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. The plaintiff alleges Sharpe sexually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. The suit also alleges that Shannon engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. It should be noted that the suit was filed by attorney Tony Busby. This is the same attorney that filed a suit against Jay-Z and P. Diddy, alleging they both sexually assaulted a minor, which has since been withdrawn. Jay-Z also has countersued Busby. By the way, the plaintiff in the Sharpe civil suit is not the woman heard in the accidental Instagram live stream incident that made headlines last September of last year. In response to the suit, Shannon and his legal team went to social media yesterday and released a series of allegedly sexually explicit text messages between him and the Jane Doe. In addition to that, they issued the following statement, quote, "This lawsuit, filed by Gabriella Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed," end quote. Then earlier today, Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, sent TMZ Sports a 1 minute and 36-second clip of an alleged conversation between his client and Shannon. In response to that clip, Shannon Sharpe went back to social media and issued this response. Take a look.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Buzbee, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Buzbee targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Buzbee want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Well, it's a sad situation. Shannon Sharpe is somebody I work with a couple of days a week. Shannon Sharpe is somebody that I brought to ESPN. Works on First Take, which airs on ESPN every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. He's been with me every Monday and Tuesday. We've been number one for 13 years and counting. But since Shannon has arrived, obviously he's helped the show immensely. And I can't thank him enough for it. We've grown close as friends. I'd like to believe that. I certainly root for him. I know he's been through a lot in life. He's overcome a lot of things. And when he departed from Fox, I was more than happy to bring him on board here. So all I can speak about is what I know based on the reports. And I can speak about ESPN and Disney. To be clear, even though this podcast, this YouTube show is owned and operated by me solely, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be dismissive of ESPN, who employs me in my daytime job on First Take. So I sit here before you today letting you know that they are aware that this is a subject that I was going to broach, because I owe them that courtesy. With that being said, it's important to point out a couple of things. Number one, I was not there. I can provide no eyewitness account. And even though I got love and respect for Shannon Sharpe, and I'm sincerely hopeful and prayerful that he is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him, I can't sit here and speak to his innocence or guilt from a knowledgeable place, because I have nothing to do with this. I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything. I don't even know this person. I know what the reports say. I know the reports, the things that have been reported on a multitude of outlets, from the AP to the New York Post to Forbes to TMZ and everything in between. I mean, I can't even count the number of publications that have talked about it or written about it, networks, etc. It's all over the internet. It's everywhere. And I know that. I'm fully aware of that. This is not a criminal case. So it's not There is no concern about him going to jail. This is a civil case, which means that he can either be found liable or not liable. The accuser in question is seeking $50 million. That was confirmed by Shannon Sharpe on that video today. According to the reports, it's somebody that he met in 2023, who was 19 years old at that particular moment in time. According to some audio that was put out earlier today by Attorney Busby, you hear the accuser, the female, talking to somebody who is alleged to be Shannon Sharpe. We don't know whether that's true or not. And the person in question, again, we don't know whether it's Shannon or not, other the words choke, as in I will choke the hell out of you if I saw you. And so because of that, knowing that audio was probably going to come out along with additional tapes, whether they be video or audio is unclear at this particular moment in time, Shannon Sharpe felt compelled to come out in his own defense. How we interpret that? Let me be very, very clear about where I'm coming from. I'm a bit torn in terms of his response. On one hand, Tony Busby has sued Jay-Z. He did sue Diddy. He did accuse them, or represented the woman who was accusing them of assault, of sexual assault, and said that she was 13 years of age at the time when talking about Jay-Z and Diddy, and Jay-Z went ballistic and emphatically denied it, wouldn't let it go. The case was dropped, and now he's suing Busby, mentioning words like extortion and other things. So when Shannon Sharpe brought up Mr. Busby in that video that we aired and talked about him being extorted, he brought up Mr. Busby and Mr. Busby's past. And he talked about him, going against African-American men. There's two thoughts there. On one hand, there's the Jay-Z, who obviously should be presumed innocent, not just because you should be presumed innocent until found guilty, but because of the manner in which he fought on his own behalf and has been very aggressive in going after Tony Busby. In the case of P. Diddy, you don't know what to believe. Again, the case against Jay-Z was a civil suit. Diddy was a civil suit. But in Diddy, you don't know what to believe because of all the allegations he's facing. But we can't forget that Tony Busby was also the person that represented at least 24 of the 27 women that accused Deshaun Watson of sexual misconduct along with other allegations. And at least 23 of those cases were settled. So we have an obligation to mention that. So on one hand, going on the offensive to defend himself, I completely understand where Shannon Sharpe is coming from. On the other hand, when his legal team issued out the press release on X yesterday, and they spoke about, they mentioned her name, and they revealed some of those explicit text messages, that was uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's a strategy that would work. One of the hardest things in the world for all of us to do is to just lay low and be quiet and let our legal team do it. And we don't always know whether or not that's the right thing to do. I know, and I can tell you all, that I spoke to Shannon, not in details, but I spoke to him, and he emphatically proclaims his innocence. According to Mr. Busby, his client emphatically proclaims his guilt. So where does that leave us? I'd love to tell you that I know the answer to that question, but I don't. I am the executive producer of First Take on ESPN. I recruited Shannon. I went and got him and brought him to ESPN. But I'm not the boss. Those are other folks. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously, and we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. And that is all he said. And I can mention his name because I received his permission to say that. I don't know what that means. In my perfect world, this equates to Jay-Z, where the case ultimately dropped and Shannon is allowed to continue on First Take and continue to thrive and shine. And not just that, and have an illustrious career in the podcast stratosphere, doing Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco, doing Club Shay Shay, and ultimately gets this $100 million deal that he was all over the news about to sign just a couple of days before this report came out. In my perfect world, he moves on. And somehow, some way, we find this all to be false. But it doesn't seem like that's the way things are about to go down, considering who Mr. Busby is and how emphatic his client is proclaiming that she is right and she's telling the truth. I don't know where this is going to go. I can't speak to anything else. I don't know who Shannon Sharpe's legal team is and what they're suggesting. I imagine that everything that has transpired has been at the behest of his lawyers, not just himself. I can tell you again that when I spoke to him, he is emphatic in stating his innocence, that this is a shakedown, to use his words. How wise is it to use those kind of words when a civil matter of this nature is out there? When you have a podcast and you have advertisers and sponsors and you work for ESPN and they have advertising sponsors, I don't know. What can we say if any of us were in that position and we felt or were proclaiming we were innocent? I don't know. And I'm not about to pretend. I just wanted to make sure that I echoed to all of you that the only reason I spoke on this issue is because he works with me 2 days a week. He's on national television. He was on national television with me today. He was on national television with me yesterday when the story came out Sunday night. I didn't know anything about it until we got on the air. But he was on air. And if you know him in part because of all the work that he's doing with me and what he's doing in this industry, I know everybody's been waiting, like, Stephen A., what you got to say about this? I got to say what I just told you. I don't know what's happened. I know I got love for the brother. I know that I'm wishing that he's innocent and all of this stuff goes away and he can continue to thrive with me on ESPN and thrive in his own platforms that he worked so diligently over the years to build. But anything else would be entirely irresponsible for me to speak on. And I can't do that. Yes, I own this. This is my platform. But I also have a day job, and I also understand what lawyers, what HR, and all of those other things entail. What I said is all I can say. And in all honesty, at this moment, it is all I know. I have no idea what direction ESPN and Walt Disney will go in when it comes to this matter. All I do know is it won't be me making a decision. It'll be others upstairs. In the end, all of us have someone to answer to. No matter how maverick we try to be, and we own our own business, and we're our sole proprietors like I am on this platform and stuff like that. There are advertisers, there are sponsors, there are people you do business with, there are partners, and there are bosses. That's the situation, unfortunately, that Shannon Sharpe finds himself in at this particular moment in time. I sincerely wish him the best. I got love for him. And I hope all of this is just a sad ordeal that goes away because there was no truth to it. But I don't know. Neither do you or the rest of us. And only time will tell what the truth is. That's it for this edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Special edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Just want to let you know that. I'll holler at y'all later. Until then, peace and love, everybody.